Welcome back, guys. In this episode of Curious Factory, we're going to mount our brand new precision turbo to the Supra.
Yeah, we do have a little bit work to do. The old turbo was a T4, the new one is a V-band, and then we do have the wastegate.
Yeah, the wastegate currently goes out to air, and we need to fit that into the exhaust, and there was like that much room in there, so that's going to be interesting. So check us out and watch us battle this problem and try to fix it and go for a test drive.
What you can see here on the table, that's a turbo that we tried to fit in our Supra in the last video, where after 2 minutes of driving, it started to smoke like a fairy. So we narrowed it down to be the turbo, and we sent it out to get refurbished, but because it is a China turbo, the spare parts are really hard to get. But we got told by the refurbished guy that the axle has turned, and that means that the axle will wobble inside the turbo. It spins at 100,000 RPMs. And when it wobbles, the bearing material will start to disintegrate and the seals will eventually leak. So the oil will get into the exhaust housing, it will start to get hot and it will smoke a lot. But here we have the new turbo. It's a Precision 6262. It has a small exhaust housing that's perfect for our build, for the power goals that we are trying to get, and it will spool a lot faster than the China turbo, of course, because of the smaller housing. But as you can see on this housing, it's a V-band, and the old turbo, it's a T4 flange, so that means that our old manifold is also a T4 flange. We have to make the old manifold be a V-band instead. We're going to take the V-bands, weld it on the extra T4 flange that we have. We're going to close it up and of course mill it out so all the exhaust gases flow nicely. We're going to mill out the twin scroll. We're going to do that on the Bridgeport milling machine that you're going to see in a bit. And hopefully that should make everything fit.
The manifold was not exactly designed for what we wanted to do with it, so we had to make adjustments to make sure we have a better flow up through the manifold flange. Next came the actual T4 to V-band flange for the turbo. This is a relatively simple job, but it requires some custom work. First we cut and prep the materials to close the gap between the two flanges. Next is welding it all together, carefully checking for a clean and solid fit without any gaps. It's all about making sure the turbo and exhaust work seamlessly with no leaks or issues down the line. Once welded, we had to face the flange to make sure we had an even surface to mount to the manifold. This was done on the mill to ensure 100% precision. Last step was cleaning up the welds and making sure that no material could dislodge and damage the turbo. Then came the test fit.
Nice.
With this modification, hopefully this is the last time that we're going to have to take this manifold off, because last time it took us 2.5 hours to take off the turbo, and now it's going to be like 2 minutes. So let's get this attached to the car and let's see where it brings us. Remember to turn on the GoPro, there we go. I can tell it's not considerably easier to get it back on even without the turbo. Let's see if I can not drop the turbo. So you can see the downpipe here actually fits quite well. And we are going to be able to get the pipe down to this, make this connection here. And we are going to be able to make that attached to that using this. So that's going to fit as well.
Yeah, I think there is more room down than there was before.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is much easier. It literally took us seconds to attach the turbo using the V-band, where it took 2 hours last time.
That was nice.
Yeah. Another thing we're worried about was the return line, the oil return line. You can see the oil return here. This is the oil return. It goes down to the bottom of the engine. And you can see, just show you, see that this is the oil return pipe that comes out of the turbo. And this is basically just a rubber hose with some, metal around. So this melts if it gets too close to the manifold.
V-band turbos are so much easier to mount. Rather than having inaccessible bolts, you loosen one nut and everything comes off. It makes a huge difference. As there are different types of V-bands and not all fit together, but fortunately, our turbo came with extra flanges specific for the Precision turbo.
That's it. That was easy.
That was extremely easy. Now we got the Supra up into the air, and this is what a Supra that's leaking oil looks like. So it's really dirty. That's what it is. So my hair is gonna need washing tonight. That is the screamer pipe, and the screamer pipe currently goes out into the atmosphere. That's not legal. We can't run with this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna route it from the screamer pipe into the exhaust, which is, there's like 15 centimeters in between that. So in those 15 centimeters, we need to make a bend, we need to have a flex pipe, and we need to get a V-band onto it and get all that working. And there is such a small room up there, so this is gonna be really interesting.
First step was to figure out how to route the exhaust from the external wastegate to the main exhaust. Once we got an idea on how to route everything, we started cutting the pipes into pie pieces and started fitting everything back together into one pipe. We needed to fit both a flex pipe, a V-band, and a 180 degrees bend that could be mounted and dismounted with the exhaust. We probably had the pieces on and off the car 20 times and made countless adjustments to make everything fit. With some tight bends and a lot of weld work, we actually pulled it off in the end. We even talked about removing the lower wishbone to make more room to work, but we managed.
Don't touch. How many times have you grabbed something like that?
Oh, countless.
I don't even
Countless.
remember. You know what a welding dance is?
Yeah.
Welding dance is when you're welding and it gets into your shoes and you're dancing because it hurts. That's a welding dance.
Yeah, the worst thing is if you're laying under the car
Oh.
and you're welding an exhaust and it lands on top of you.
Yeah. I have big scars because, you know, I've had stuff. On this watch, I actually have welding spots on this watch because I always wear it. So I have, you know, stuff that's hit the watch.
Yeah, that was how my old phone broke.
Oh.
I had it right next to me, and then when I was finished welding, I looked at the phone and the screen was cracked because one of the
Spots.
the sparks fell on the phone.
The turbo is now on the car. Now all the little things needs to be done. We need to get the wastegate on, we need to get the hoses for the oil feedback and return, we need to get the exhaust pipe on, we need to get the strut on, all these little things that just take a lot of time. So check this little montage of all the little things that we are doing now, and next is going to be driving the car.
She just wants to flirt, so I flirt right back. I just put in work, yeah, I work like that. Got me falling and it hurts, yeah, it hurts so bad. All in and it's worth everything I have. I could feel the butterflies multiply every time I meet your eyes. Amplify deep inside once I feel your skin on mine. Though I try, I can't hide all the ways I feel inside. You're everything I want.
So now after you've seen us battling, putting all the hoses and all the clamps in place with no room to spare, we are actually ready for the startup. We don't want to start the turbo up without any oil for the first startup. So we are going to have to prime it. We have taken the oil feed off and put it into a cup. We're going to crank the engine and make sure that it feeds the oil as it should. And after that, we're going to put the feed on the turbo and hopefully go for the first ride.
Yeah. And we're happy.
Plates?
We have plates now, so we can run it.
Okay.
That was wheel spin, okay.
And it makes boost.
Wow.
Half a bar.
Half a bar, that's perfect. Wow. That was fast.
But now it doesn't make that much. So something happened.
Did we blow a pipe? How
Perhaps.
much did it make?
I think 1.25.
But I wasn't on full gas.
Oh, you weren't?
No. It's really fast. Like on wet weather with maybe not the best winter tires. I'm just being really careful. That was like half gas.
Okay.
I'm just being careful. Let's go somewhere where we can stretch it a little bit because we can't do that here. Too many obstacles. So what are we trying to test? We're trying to test whether it smokes. It doesn't smoke.
It doesn't smoke.
We're trying to test whether it makes boost. It does make boost. And it's not going too lean, so that's working as well. Just really being careful because I know the conditions are not optimal for what we are doing right now. And I can't see what RPMs we are doing, but it's not much and it's doing boost already. That's full gas. Was doing 12 at full boost. It doesn't feel like it has like 1,000,000 horsepower, but it's really fast down low. That's what we were looking for. So you don't have to, give it much before it actually moves.
Exactly. So we have streetable power.
We have streetable power, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit lean. I just saw a 12.5.
Yeah, that's a little bit lean, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit lean sometimes. Okay, it works!
It works! Hey!
Hey!
That's nice! So we only tried to make the Supra run for
2 months,
for
3
2
months.
months.
Now it works.
Now it works.
And it's drivable.
And it doesn't smoke. And it sounds
Sounds like
pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, that was wow. So I'm a little bit of gas and I'm probably 4,000 or 5,000. We have boost right away. Wow, that's impressive.
And it's not even smoking a little bit right now. Oh, that we have flames. We have flames.
Interesting we have flames, okay.
But that's the rev limiter. It's a hard cut.
We have a catalytic converter that hates flames. What the hell? Thank you for watching this episode of Future Factory. As you can see now, our Supra Build is almost done. We have a car that works. We know what to do with it body kit wise, and the journey has been quite long because we've been trying to get it to work for like 2 months, 3 months. But it works now, and next up is a couple of things that we need to do.
So the next step you're going to see from us is we're going to have the car inspected. Then you have all voted for the wheel side wheels, so we of course have to put those on. And we first, before we can put them on, we have to fix them. So those had a little dent in them, so we have to get them refurbished. And then we're going to put the body kit on. So follow along our journey, and we're glad you're here.
See you next episode.